Shalom. We are on now part 4 of our Sikha for the ideas of the Rebbe about Avos Yisrael. And start off with a beautiful story about loving another Jew no matter who they are. Now, there was beautiful debates in the Gemara that the rabbis lived under the occupation of the Romans. And they did have these debates. They took a few lines, but they're nekudos, points of beautiful reference. And Turner Rufus, he actually asked Rabbi Akiva, and he said, listen, that Hashem made the world, yes, and he made everybody who they are and what they are, yes. So he says, well, if there's a per person, why are you interfering with creation and having that, helping them out of charity and helping them out to get them back on their feet? If you're interfering with God's creation, he made a creation, and he wanted to make the person poor. So who are you to stick your nose in and bother and mess up the creation? And Rabbi Akiva is an interesting question if you think about it. But Rabbi Akiva said, and this is really typical idea what a Jewish person's purpose in the world is, and that is that no matter who you are and what you are, that the Almighty wants us to know that there is children. And again, if you have a poor person, and you surely would help him out, not saying if there's your child, well, I don't care, he's not good in school, who cares about him? You don't have that attitude about your child. So too the Almighty said that they are my children, and even though I maybe make them poor and they need help, and a lot of people do need help, still they're my children, and I thank you very much, the Almighty would probably say to a Jewish person. And he says, for helping out my dear children. And that is an important idea in philosophy, that is not leave the world the way they are, more of an existential philosophy. But Torah wants you, so to speak, to interfere with the creation, meaning make it better, be a partner with the Almighty in making it a good world, a better world, and taking care of people. So that's an important point, that bringing of Avos Yisrael, we have to have love to them. Now this is an interesting idea, a very deep idea, that what is higher, the Torah or the Jewish people? So on one hand, the Jewish people stand up for the Torah, and that they say that they give honor to the Torah. So in a certain sense, the Torah is higher in this world. But in source, in the ultimate source, the Jewish people are in a higher level than even the Almighty wanted to bring into the Torah. Why? Because it says, Daber al bnei Yisrael, speak to the Jewish people all over the Torah. They're always saying that speak to the Jewish people. The Jewish people must have come before the Torah. The Torah is the source of all living things, but the Jewish people are even higher, because when the Almighty wanted to make a world, it says in the Medrash, who did he decide to make the world with? He says, I'm going to talk to or deal with the Neshama Shal Yisrael, the Jewish souls. And therefore, the Jewish people are the source of everything in this world, because Hashem made the world, the Almighty made the world, that the Jewish people should bring down the Torah, to learn the Torah, and bring into the mitzvahs into the world, to make a dwelling place for Hashem, for the Almighty. And that is why that it's a good thing that even though, of course, we honor the Torah, and Torah is holy, of course, in this world, but ultimately a Jewish person ultimately is higher than anything. Thank you very much. Part 4.